just a delight to have a couple real good athletes in camp. Marcy was a college scholarship Fastpitch player, and you can see typically she has no stride and spins on the back foot, very jammed, and that's something that was probably her biggest catch point. That's just early on the ball a lot, and sometimes she got into a rollover, but overall she had a pretty nice straight hand path and a good snap over the top. But it's all impeded by her ability to stride and get a good throwing motion of the hips to throw the hands. She just didn't get much behind it. Be either early or late, she was either down like she was there, or sometimes got into a early rollover like she did right there. So certainly had some issues, and that's typical what we see in fast pitch hitters. They're not able to get that timing down because they don't take a stride and they don't time it on that long bob portion of the swing. We can stretch it out and make it real nice and long. So we move down to Mario, who's 57 years old, in really phenomenal shape, plays some AA, AAA ball, and he's got that typical baseball inside-out swing. He goes to right field a lot, but as he's gotten older, he used to have home run power when he needed it to right center, and doesn't have it anymore because, look, he's got undersnap, and the bat doesn't pop through, it doesn't snap through, it doesn't whip through. You just don't get the power like you would if you had a good oversnap and the bat head was punching through. Again, he does a great job of placing it there. He's got a high average, but as he ages, certainly found that there's a power level decrease, and that was something he wanted to work on. But typically that undersnap, the knob comes up, the bat comes down, and you kind of a golfing side snap, and just don't get the power on the swing very good. So typically we want to work on getting that bat head to punch through, and that's probably about the best he's going to do right there. Gets a little bit of a side whip, but the bat head is still down below. So here's the drill we use. You pull the hand back, the lead hand back, and you punch the bat. It's like a boxer's punch. You can see here on Jeremy's swing that he's got a good oversnap. I've got a decent oversnap here, and Brett's got a little bit more of a side snap, but all of them, the bat head, you're using your hips to throw the bat head, and you want that bat head to punch through the ball. Look at how that comes through and punches through the ball. It's the fastest way to go. Same on my swing, rotation and punching through. With Brett, it's more of a whipping sideways punch through. His swing is, during his career, has gone from oversnap to both undersnap, or side axe snap, I should say. So here's a great drill. Take a longer stride, stretch it out. And Mario just did a real nice job of it anyway, but the diagonal torque drill really helps you get the shoulder to drive open. And then with Marcy, you want to get a one-arm finish. You know, you typically with the fast pitch girls, they'll whip the wrists over and they'll have it hit them in the back. If you keep your lead arm straight and then release after impact at full extension, you get a one-arm finish. And the faster you are after impact, the faster you'll be at impact. So typically we're going back here now, we're doing that same drill again, trying to get it punched through, trying to get it to whip through. You know, there's a lead hand comes down and the top hand comes back. Now with the wrist here, we're just doing a little flick drill, trying to get the feeling of as our hips throw the hands, we have that bat whip by our hands. It's a whipping loose snap, and the bat head wants to flip over our hands. That's great if it does that, and done in an axe style. Here's rotation, stab, and snap for the overhead view. Rotation, stab, and snap, good. No early rollover, and so we work on the swing simulator to try to get that hand path to go down and try to keep that knob from coming up for Mario. Even here you can see at the end, hands want to lift up a little bit at the end. See the rope get distended, but pretty good. And on Marcy, wanted to make sure we could get that stride up. Look there. Look how short that is again. That's something you'll have to really work on. You want to stretch that out, reach that foot out like you're throwing, but watch, you end up short stepping it and just spin on the back foot, spinning the bug. Watch Frank Henry's here. Watch his lower body. That's the ideal thing we want to do. You know, keep the weight on the back foot, but let the weight come forward, transfer the weight, and get a good throwing motion so we can use that to throw our hands. You can see here the knob comes up, and then we ride up over the top of the ball. What we really need to do is think of that lead arm as a lead hand as a karate chop. Never let it get higher than the bottom of the ball. As you throw and let the bat head whip through, this is better here. We get that whipping sideways of the hands right there. Change the position of the hands, the bat head whips through and snaps through. We want to use our hips and our hands to throw the bat head through the ball, whether you go sideways axe style like this or a little bit over the top like hitting an axe into a tree. at a little bit of an angle. See here, there typically is what you get on the swing. You get that undersnap. Now here's oversnap, where you throw the bat head over the top of the hands. Watch the bat head. It'll fly through the top of the hands on a low pitch and punch through. You're trying to lift it too much, and there's no power in there compared to what this oversnap is. I would like to say tomahawk, but there's a jimmer stick. And again, watch the stride. A little bit better. Still spinning on the back foot. We've got to get that weight transfer to the front foot. So this drill right here, the diagonal torque drill, Marcy, is what's going to be really bread and butter for you. Use it for warming up for all kinds of drills and everything else. So here's what we started to hit live. Again, here you're early and you ride up over the top with a rollover. So you want to really work on, the longer you can stretch your stride out, and then if you keep working on the X snap here, work on throwing it sideways, throwing the X style. A little bit better stride there, and then there's just a nice swing right there. Longer stride, your weight transfers, your back foot spins. Look at how nice the hand path is. And the interesting thing is you have a punching oversnap tomahawk style, bat whip, which is great. One thing I'd like to see you do is not flight the wrists at the end there. I'd like to see you keep the lead arm straight and have a one-hand finish, but Rome wasn't built in a day. You're just early on that swing right there. Decent enough swing. Bat head's going to punch through, but you're way out in front. So we told you to start your timing when the ball reaches its maximum height on the pitch. This pitch here, your hands dive down. If your hands came up to the ball, you would be okay. You're axe snapping, but it's tilted too much and just get into the roll a little bit. Watch Jason Branch here. Watch how his hands, when he goes to lead his hands, the hands are at the bottom of the ball, and then when you snap, you're going to get a much cleaner strike with that oversnap. See, your hands are too low, and so the bat has to rise up 8 inches or so just to make contact. Branch's hands are much closer to where the point of impact is. That's why he hits the ball so good. Here you're just a little bit early, and then you get into a rollover. But stride is better. Just made a ton of progress on there. Look at that ball there. That's just great. Longer stride. Throw the hands and throw the bat head through the ball. Look at Branch's swing, very similar. Rotate, hips through the hands through the bat head, and you try to throw it into the ball and punch it all the way through. Be careful you don't get into a roll too much there, but again, that's going to give you the maximum power. You hit 74 miles an hour, which is awesome. Now, let's go back over to Mario here. There's your swing before. And so you try to transition into more of an oversnap. A little bit early, but the bat head is whipping past the hands and maybe a little bit over the top. Watch out my swing here. See how the bat head whips over the top and punches through the ball just to get a good clean strike that way. Even on low pitch, you can punch through, even though I don't have the greatest rotation there. But watch as Mario continues on trying to get that. Whips a little bit better. It just progressively get better. You never get it quite 100%, but look at there, that's getting closer. You no longer have that undersnap, that golfing undersnap. You're starting to get more of a tomahawk and oversnap, and definitely you can see the power even going backside increase and improve, but you're still that's a pretty good swing right there, but still the bat head dropped down just a little bit. Your knob typically comes up just a little bit too much, and we aren't quite getting that bat head to punch past our hands over the top, but getting close. So awesome job, and enjoyed having you guys in camp. Nice shot. Pop the knob down as you swing, as you drive. I'm a genius, aren't I? Yeah. Hey, tell the back camera what you just did.
Exactly what you said. Drive the knob down and snap through it.
I think one sticking point is watch your hands in your knob. Your knob is down. You have to recorrect it back up, and then it's hard to get a good flip on that. And watch mine. My level off. The knob is like a flashlight. It's aiming towards the bottom. I don't have to redirect it. So if you can simplify that, get your bat flatter. That's why we keep saying get your bat flatter when the hands come back. The knob is down. It has to come back up. And look right there. Even though you hit that well, it's not 100%. Nice shot, Marcy. Oh, nice shot. Comes through. Nice. Oh, quit on that one. Get out there. Hey, stand there. Stand there. Tell yourself what adjustment you made. That was killed.
I literally looked at the bottom of the ball. Yeah. Like you said. I think I was probably focused on one.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to me!